Hello and welcome back to the Unveiled Soul. My name is Scott, and I thought I would talk about the video that I made earlier today about the three things that we all need to hear today. And it's something that I don't think we say to ourselves enough. It's something that I don't think we say to each other enough. And it's, one, you are enough. You are not your past, and you are not broken. So let's break this down for just a minute. Before we get too far in, I do want to remind you that I do have this YouTube channel. I have an Instagram and a TikTok, all the Unveiled Soul. So go check them out. Give them a follow. If you like this content here on YouTube, please do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share. If you know someone who really needs to hear some of these messages and some of these ideas, please share that with them. I would greatly appreciate that. One, you are enough. One of the things that I feel like a lot of us deal with is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Why am I here? I can't do this. Why do I think I can do this? Why I'm not so-and-so? So-and-so can do this. I can't do this. I can do this. Imposter syndrome is your nervous system's way of saying, hey, this is a lot. It's going to be a lot. And it creates fear and it creates uncertainty. So if that's kind of where you're at, if you've been comparing yourself to others, if you are carrying shame and regret, then I really think that this might be worth listening to. You are enough now. Not when you achieve something. Not when you feel ready. Now. You are enough now. Not when you look different, not when you feel different, and not when somebody else approves of you. If everybody who did something in history waited for the approval of someone, nothing would happen. Stop waiting for someone to give you outside validation. Just go for it. Do it. Comparison is the fastest way to lose your peace. Social media, looking at people on Pinterest, whatever that might be. Anytime that you compare yourself to another person, you are giving your peace away. Instead of saying, this is who I am, and this is who I choose to be, a lot of us will look at people in the public eye and say, I want to be that, because I want what they have. You don't know what they have. You don't know who they are. You see a character. You see an outside vision of something, but it's not that person. When we compare ourselves to other people, we feel imposter syndrome. We believe things like, I don't belong, I'm behind, everyone else is better than me. I deal with it every day. Come on, man. I've been doing hair for 26 years and I still see some beautiful work that other stylists do, and it makes me question myself. But that's my issue, my inner challenges. It has nothing to do with my actual ability as a hairdresser. Creating my videos here, doing this on social media and on YouTube, this is difficult, this is challenging, and it requires consistency. And it can take some time to see something, get some traction. But that's why you have to keep going. That's why I have to keep going. We can't just give in just because something feels a little hard or a little heavy. We cannot allow imposter syndrome to sneak in. And I say we because this applies to me. Sometimes we think that timing has everything to do with whether or not we are enough. And I'll just be transparent. I'm going through a transitional period right now from my old timeline to this new one that I'm working on and that is in the process. And that's not easy. And so, this is where I think sometimes we forget that it requires a village. It requires a village to be able to move forward sometimes. Maybe that's just a best friend to vent to. Maybe that's a mentor. Maybe that's just someone who's been where you are. You're not off. Your timing is not off. You're moving forward. Your journey is not too late. You are not behind. You are where you're supposed to be right now. And when you take a deep breath and when you step back and when you realize that you're right on time, that takes a lot of pressure off of us. Your journey is continuing to unfold, and sometimes you need to celebrate that. And whether that's with lighting a candle, lighting some incense, going for a walk, going for a drive in your favorite neighborhood, or going out to dinner with friends to celebrate a milestone. Let me give you a suggestion. So this is actually one of my blessing candles. This is actually a cinnamon fragrance oil base, and it has star anise and rosemary inside. All of these items, all of these aromas, all of these things are connected to the idea of blessing. Okay, so this is an intention candle. If I wanted to celebrate myself, maybe not with a blessing candle, but a peace candle, a gratitude candle, whatever that might be, maybe I sit down at night when I get home, I come home from work, and I just need a minute to myself, but I want to celebrate everything that went right that day. I can sit down on my couch, I can light a candle, and I could just focus on all of those things that I'm grateful for. And it's in those moments that we realize that we are enough, because we're celebrating the things that make us enough. They're the things that we create. They're the things that we do all day, every day, that bring us joy. Those are the things that show us that we are enough. Something else you can do every morning when you get up and look in the mirror and you say, I love you. How can I make you happy today? Say that to yourself in the mirror. You can also say things like, you are enough. Look in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, you are enough. That's quite all right. There's nothing wrong with that. The next part I want to talk about is you are not your past. You are not now. You will never be your past unless you choose to be. Now, if you're anything like me, some of us will carry our past like it's in a backpack. It's always there and it's always weighing us down, okay? In that backpack is old mistakes, old relationships, failed relationships, old version of ourselves that no longer exist and no longer really serve us. Those are the types of things, those are the types of items or bricks that we could find in that backpack that is weighing us down. But the past is a teacher. It's not a sentence. It's not something that is just there beating you over the head all day, every day, unless you allow it. You have the power over your thoughts. You have the power over how you react to things. The past teaches us lessons. It does not define our value. And sometimes we hang on to things that were never meant to stay. People, places, and things, those nouns, man. It's those nouns that we need to let go of sometimes. People, places, and things. I hear people saying things like, I call my power back to me. From any person, place, or thing that may have taken it or I had left it there, I call it back to me. And it's in those things. It's in those physical things. And it could be a phone. It could be a laptop, a computer. It could be anything. Anything that we have left our energy with or that we've invested our energy into that no longer serves us, we need to let that go. Sometimes things leave because we're growing. People fall away, places fall away, jobs fall away, relationships, all these different things fall away because we're growing, we're changing, and we're doing things differently. I get messages from people sometimes that say, you've changed, and I don't like it. But it's not for you to like or dislike because it's my journey, and it's what I'm doing and where I am on my journey. So when people say to you, you've changed and I don't like it, please do not take that as life direction, because it's not. It's someone projecting their inadequacies onto you, and it's not necessary. Do not allow other people's projections to infect your life. It's okay to say, you know what, I love you, but this is not helping me anymore. This is not part of my journey anymore. If you struggle with shame of any kind, try this. Write down a mistake that you still carry, okay? Whatever that is. And don't start with the heavy shit, okay? Start with something simple. Then below that, write down what it taught you, okay? So what it's taught you and where you are in life because of it. And then I want you to take that piece of paper and I want you to crumble it up and throw it in the trash. You've released it. Okay? Simple ritual, simple thing where you literally take a thing that bothers you, you write it down, you process it, you crumble it up, and you get rid of it. It is very symbolic, it's very spiritual. If you are working through lessons, if you have been working through lessons, and you find yourself having grown from a lesson, that is a good thing. That means the lesson worked. That means that the work you put in, the blood, the sweat, and the tears that you endured, they were successful. So keep that in mind. One thing, too, that I really want to remind us all of is the simple fact that you are allowed to evolve, you're allowed to outgrow people, and you are always allowed to begin again. So the last part of this is you are not broken. Many people feel broken because they feel anxious or sensitive or different or misunderstood. Most of the time, what is called broken is actually misalignment. You are not broken. A Facebook friend sent me a message the other day and said that his friend no longer wanted to be his friend because he was too much. And I think we're all guilty of being the person who said that. Okay? We're all guilty of it. We've all done it at some point in time in our lives. And we have to face that. You are forced to face it when someone says it to you. Alignment, which can be used in spiritual context. Alignment is when you are in line with what you believe and who you truly are. That is alignment. So if I am in alignment with a group of friends, that means that we all care for each other. We all care for each other. And we show each other love, honesty, respect, empathy. We all support each other on a different level. That's alignment. Now, if you have a friend group and there's one person in that friend group who's always causing drama, who's always pissing everybody off, that person is not in alignment with your group. And it's okay to look at those people, places, and things and say, hey, I don't know that this is the right fit. So many times, so often, we're told by people that we think care about us, that we are, as our authentic selves, too much. And that just means that we are currently surrounded by, or that person is someone who is not in alignment with who we are. And that's okay. The world is full of people who are out of alignment with who they truly are. People who are miserable in their jobs. You're not in alignment. You're doing what you think you're supposed to do because you were taught by society that that's what you're supposed to do. When we live our truth through the lens of what others think, we create friction. That friction feels like anxiety. It feels like stress. And it absolutely feels like self-doubt. But it's not brokenness. It is simply misalignment. When you do feel off, when you do feel uncomfortable in a situation, that's your spirit asking for you to help realign things. When you feel uncomfortable around someone, when you feel uncomfortable in a place, be it a store, a restaurant, someone's house, whatever that is, that's your body. That's your soul speaking to your body and saying, hey, this is not okay. When you silence your voice to make others comfortable, when you shrink to fit expectations, and when you say yes but you mean no, your nervous system will react. And that's a good thing because that's what we need. We need our bodies sometimes to remind our hearts and sometimes our minds that we have everything we need. You are enough. You've been given a nervous system that can tell you when something's wrong. It's like your car. A light comes on, a bell might ding, but it's a way of your vehicle telling you something's wrong. Your body does the same thing, and most of us don't listen. So let's remember, you are enough. You're not broken, and your past is your past. It's in the past. Leave it there. You are enough, and you can absolutely do this.